Hi, good morning, everyone. Myself, V. Dinesh Babu, working in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Chevrolet Engineering College. And a warm welcome to all of you for the second session on applets. In the previous session, we already discussed regarding the introduction of applets. And in introduction of applets, we have seen the definition of applet, where applet is a small Java program which will run on Java-enabled web browser. After seeing the definition, we went through the different types of Java programs. We already saw that these Java programs are divided into three types: standalone applications and server-side applications and applets. After that, we went for seeing the differences between applets and standalone applications, and we already saw 7 differences between these two types of programs. After discussing the differences between standalone applications and applets, we saw the life cycle of an applet, where the JVM will call some of the methods which are called as life cycle of an applet, and the name of those methods are init, start, stop, and destroy. And then init method and destroy method can be called only once during the life cycle of an entire applet, and then start and stop methods can be called any number of times. These are the things what we have covered in the last session. And welcome to the session number 2. And in this session, we are going to discuss about how to write a simple applet program. In this video, I'm going to deal with the simple steps in order to write the applet programs. And I will explain each and every step of how to write an applet program and follow these steps and try to write a simple applet program. And in the coming session, I will explain I will show how to write a program, applet program, right? Right, this is the first step what we have to follow in order to write an applet program. While we are working with applets, we need to import one package, and the name of that package is applet package. So, and as I mentioned in the previous session, that this is the smallest package among all the packages in Java programming language, and this applet package only contains one and only one class, which is called as applet class. And I already explained how can we differ a class name with a package name. A package name will start with a small letter, and a class name will start with a capital letter. And coming to how to import this package, in the sense I have given in the example that we have to write the statement as import space java.applet.star. The dot star will says that we have to include all the classes in the applet package, but we have only one and only one class, and we can rewrite that statement as import space java.applet.applet. No problem with that. And then coming to the next step, after importing the applet package, we know that these applet programs do not contain main method. Instead of main method, these programs contains paint method. The paint method will take graphics class variable as a parameter, and that graphics class is present in AWT package, abstract window toolkit package. We have already discussed about this package in the unit number 6. And that graphics class is present in the AWT package. So if we want to use that particular graphics class, we have to import that graphics class into our program. So that graphics class is located in AWT package. So we have to write the next statement of our program as import space java.awt.star, or we can replace that program with import space java.awt.graphics. Okay, and this graphics class contains many methods, and by using these methods only, we are going to display some text on the applet or draw some different shapes on the applets. So in order to use all those methods, we have to import this graphics class in our program. And in order to import that graphics class is located in AWT package. That is why we are importing AWT package in our program. And coming to the next slide, After importing the two packages, first one is applet package and the second one is AWT package. After importing these two packages, we have to define a class with the class keyword followed by name of the class, and I have given an example in the following slide. Class space A, where class is a keyword and A is the name of the class. And I have mentioned one more point in the bottom. Defining a class itself should not generate applet. We already imported two packages, applet package and then AWT package. After importing those two packages, I defined a class with the name A. So defining a class with the name A itself will not generate an applet. What we have to do in order to generate an applet, what we have to do in the sense, our class should extend applet class. And I have mentioned this this point in the differences between standalone applications and applets. And there I have mentioned that on the side of standalone applications, I have mentioned that a class may or may not extend depending upon our need. So while we are dealing with standalone applications, we may or may not extend a class. If we want to extend a class, we simply extend a class. And if we don't want to extend a class, we don't extend a class in standalone applications. But while coming to the applets, our class must and should extend applet class. So we have to rewrite the previous statement. In the previous slide, I have mentioned class A, and we have to rewrite that particular statement as class A extends applet. Class A extends applet. In the bottom, you can see class A extends applet. And at the same time, now it is okay, but the class is not available to HTML file. As we mentioned in the previous session, while we are dealing with the applet programs, there are two files, .java file and .html file. So we have to provide our Java file to HTML file. After writing the Java file, we will compile that particular Java file, and that Java file will be converted into .class file. And we have to provide the .class file to the HTML file while executing the program. So just to defining class A extends applet, it will not make the availability of this particular Java program to the HTML file. So in order to make this particular Java program to the make availability of the Java program to the HTML file, we have to use the public access modifier. As all we know that we have three types of modifiers: public, private, and protected. Public modifier, by using public modifier, we can have access of the class or the method or the variable anywhere in the program or outside of the package also. So here also, we want to make the availability of this particular program in the HTML file. So we have to define this particular class with public keyword. Again, rewrite the statement as rewrite the class definition statement as public class A extends applet. So the complete meaning of this particular statement is public is an access modifier which will keep the following class available to all the classes or all the things outside the package. And class is a keyword which is used to define a class. A is the name of the class. Extend is the keyword. Extends is the keyword which is used for inheritance. And applet is a name of the class by which we are going to develop some applets in our program. So now our class A will become a child class for applet class. Now in this particular statement, applet is a parent class, or it can also be called as a super class, and class A is a child class or subclass. Coming to the next point, as all we know that these applet programs do not contain main method. That is, we know that in standalone applications, while we are writing some simple or complex programs, each and every program must and should contain a main method, that is public static void main string args. But these applet programs do not contain main method. These programs will work without the main method. But instead of that main method, we are going to use a different method called as paint method. That is, these programs contain paint method. And coming to this paint method, if you can see the main method in Java, that is the public static void main string args, that main method is going to take a parameter of string class array variable as a parameter. Similarly, here also, this paint method will take graphics class variable as parameter. So for the paint method, we are going to provide a graphics class variable as a parameter. While we are writing the paint method, we have to provide the graphics class variable as a parameter. See the third point, by using that variable along with some methods present in graphics class. So here in the paint method, we will pass a graphics class variable, and we with that variable along with the methods present in the graphics class. We know that the graphics class contains many methods. So we have to use that variable name along with the method. We can write text or draw shapes on the applet and so on the applet. So we can, if you want to write something on the applet, we have to use that variable followed by variable dot followed by some method name present in the graphics. Or if you want to draw something, we need to use the variable name dot followed by some method name in the respected method name in the graphics class. So in order to write something on the applet, we have to use that variable name along with the methods present in the graphics class. That is the main motto of the third point in this slide. Coming to the next slide. So we have to write the paint method as, we have to use the public access modifier. And while dealing with the methods in any programming language, that method should have any return type. It may be int or a float or anything. Or if method is going to return nothing, we have to present that method with the void keyword. So use the public keyword in order to make the method available in the program. And void keyword specifies that this method is going to return nothing, and paint is the name of the method. And after the paint, we have used something in the braces which are called as parameters. So here we are passing the graphics class variable, that is the G, as a parameter for this particular paint method. So we have to define the method inside this applet program as public void paint of graphics G. And we said that graphics is a class. That is why we have to maintain capital letter for G, right? So where G is a graphics class variable, we can have any name other than keywords. So instead of G, for example, I have mentioned here as a public void paint of graphics C. If I don't want to mention G, I can mention graphics A or graphics B or graphics C, whether I can mention any type of name. But that name should not be a keyword. We all know the keywords in Java programming language. Int, float, if, else, while, do while, all these are keywords. We cannot use graphics space int. We cannot use graphics space float. We cannot use graphics space if. Or we cannot use graphics space else. Or we cannot use graphics space class, because class is a keyword in Java programming language. So other than keywords, we can use any name as a variable for this graphics. That is the meaning of that last point in this slide. Coming to the next slide, if we want to write something on the applet, or if we want to draw any shape on the applet, I think there is some mistake in this slide. Any shape on the applet, we have to use different method of graphics class. We know graphics is a class, and any class will have some variables and some methods. Similar to all the classes, graphics class also contains multiple number of methods in which these methods are used to draw some shapes on the applet. I will show what are the different methods that are available in the graphics class and which methods are used for which purpose, and what are the methods used to draw text, and what are the methods used to display some color on the applet. So graphics class contains huge number of methods, and by using these methods, we can draw text, we can draw shapes, or we can display some colors on the output screen. Okay, so let us see what are the methods, some of the following methods. Here we are not going to cover all the methods. Among all those methods, I am going to cover only some of the methods. So among all those methods, let us see the methods one by one. First one, if we want to draw some text on the applet, we all know while we are dealing with and that is in standalone applications. If we want to write something on the output screen, we simply use system.out.println, system.out and println. And while we are working with AWT, if we want to write something on that container, we have to create an object for label class. We all know that we already discussed about label class, and we are very familiar with the system.out.println statement also, because we are writing each and every thing on the output screen by using system.out.println in standalone applications. And similarly, while we are working with abstract window toolkit, we have to write something on the containers. So in order to write something on the container, that system.out.println will not work there. Instead of that system.out.println, we are going to create some objects for the label class, which will write something on the containers. Similar to those two things, while dealing with the applets, while coming to the side of applets, if we want to write something on the applet, we cannot write by creating an object for label class. We cannot use system.out.println here. Instead of those two things, we have to use a method called as drawString method. We all know that the method names start with a small letter by convention. So here drawString method, D is small. And if we are combining two or more words, we simply use the capital letter for the second word and third word and so on. So here drawString are the two different words, and we are these programming languages will not allow spaces in the method names. So we have to combine these two names. So drawString is a single word now, and it is the name of the method. And while I am saying the name of the method, it will start with a small letter by convention. So D should be small. And while coming to the joining the second word, that is the string, S should be capital. So drawString, it is a method name, which is used to draw some text on the applets. So this drawString method will take three parameters. While we are writing drawString method, we should be careful. We have to mention three parameters. The name of the first parameter is string. The name of the data type of the first parameter is string. So we have to provide a string parameter, a string as a first parameter to the drawString method. While I am saying string means you have to keep the string in double quotes, right? So the string should be the first parameter, and the second and third parameter should be the values of X and Y. These two should be integer values. That is why we have mentioned int X and int Y. So these two should be integer values. So this X specifies the position of X coordinate, and Y specifies the position of Y coordinate, where we have to print the string or where we have to draw the string on the applet. So str is a string, what we want to display on the applet. So see the last 2 points. Str is the string, what we want to display on the applet, and X comma Y defines the position of text on the applet. So let us have a quick look how the applet screen and how the coordinates are defined on the applet screen. And this is the figure. So the top left corner will be the 0, 0, and the value of X defines the width. The value of X defines the width, and the value of Y defines the height of the screen. So we start with top left corner as 0, 0, where the X and Y values are 0, 0. It is quite different from normal XY axis, XYZ axis. So in normal XY axis, in 2 dimension, while we are dealing with 2 dimension, we use XY, and while we are dealing with 3 dimension, we use XY and Z. Normally, we consider 0, 0 at bottom left. At bottom left, we consider 0, 0. But while we are dealing with the applets, or while we are dealing with the abstract window toolkit frames or panels or windows, top left corner will be the origin. And when we move towards right side, that means we are going to increase the value of X, and while we move to the bottom, we are going to increase the value of Y. So this is how our applet screen will be done, and these are the coordinates. top left will be 0, comma 0. So similarly, again come to the previous slide, drawString method have 3 parameters, string str, int x and int y. Str is the string what we want to display on the screen. For example, I want to display my name, or I want to display my branch name, computer science and engineering. I just keep computer science and engineering in the double quotes and I pass it as a first parameter. And after the computer science and engineering, I use comma. And if I mention 10, comma 10, that means our string will start from 10, comma 10 position of the screen. That is, the top left will be the 0, comma 0. And from there, we have to move 10 points towards x-axis. And we have to move bottom 10 points. And that particular intersection of 10, comma 10, and that particular point only, our computer science and engineering will going to be printed on the output screen. Similarly, if I want to print something on a different position, I can mention, for example, 30, comma 40. So our string will start printing from 30, comma 40. So this is how we are going to display some text on the applet by using the drawString method. And similarly, let us see some of the different methods that what we use in order to create different shapes. Coming to the next method, if we want to draw a rectangle or a square on applet, if we want to draw a rectangle or a square on applet, there is one method called as, see the second point, drawRect method. As I mentioned in the previous slide, if we want to write something on the applet, we have to use drawString method. When we call method, its name should start with small letter. And if that method name contains 2 or more number of methods, the 2 or more number of words, the second word starting character or the third word starting character should be capital. Here I say drawRect. Draw is a separate word, rect is a separate word. And for method name, we are combining without breaking the rules of the method names, we are combining this drawRect. And where D is a small letter and R should be capital letter. And say drawRect method, it is a method in graphics class which will take 4 parameters. Those 4 parameters are represented there: int x, comma int y, int height, comma int width. All of those are integer values, no problem with that. And coming to the names of those 4 parameters, x, comma y, comma height, comma width. What the meaning of those 4 parameters is that x, comma y, see the next point, x, comma y defines the starting position of the rectangle. For example, if I pass drawRect 10, comma 10, so our rectangle will start from 10, comma 10, and the next 2 parameters, that is height and width, defines the size of the rectangle in terms of height and width. For example, if I pass 10, comma 10, comma 20, comma 20, so our rectangle will start from 10, comma 10 with 20 height and 20 width. So the next 2 parameters defines the size of the rectangle, that is in terms of height and width. And there is one more important point at the last note. If height equal to width, if I say, I already explained in the previous example, 10, comma 10, comma 20, comma 20, it means we are going to draw a square. That is, if the height and width are equal, then that particular method will draw or will display a square on the applet. If the height and width are different, it will display a rectangle. We all know that if we have same width and height, then it will become a square. If we have a different width and height, it will become a rectangle. Similar to that basic thing, here also, if we pass same values for height and width, a square will be drawn on the output screen. And if we pass different values for height and width, it will display a rectangle on the output screen, right? So this is how we can draw rectangle or square on the applet. Coming to the next shape, if I want to draw some shape like a circle or ellipse, if I want to draw circle or ellipse, there is a method in graphics class called as drawOval method. drawOval method. This method will draw circle or ellipse on the output screen. Similar to the previous methods also, we already saw the drawString method is taking 3 parameters. drawRect method is taking 4 parameters. Similar to those methods, this drawOval also will take 4 parameters. All those 4 parameters are integer values similar to the draw rect method. And these 4 parameters are quite different from the draw rect method. These 4 parameters are x comma y comma rx comma ry, where x comma y defines the center of the oval. It may be a circle or it may be an ellipse. It defines the center of the oval, and rx and ry defines the radius of the oval in terms of x-axis and in terms of y-axis respectively. Rx defines the radius of the oval in terms of x-axis, and ry defines the radius of the oval in terms of y-axis. And similar to the rectangle, in rectangle, if height and width are same, it will draw rect method will display square. If height and width are different, draw rect method will display rectangle. Similar to that, if radius on x-axis and radius on y-axis, if both are same, this method, draw oval method, will display a circle. If the radius on x-axis and radius on y-axis is different, this draw oval method will display an ellipse on the applet. And we all know the basic 2 types of ellipse, major x-axis and major y-axis. If the radius of x-axis is more, it will display major x-axis, major x-axis ellipse, and similarly major y-axis ellipse also. So draw oval is the method which is by which we are going to which is going to be used to draw circle or ellipse. So if the draw oval method will take 4 parameters, x comma y comma radius on x-axis and radius on y-axis. If x and y defines the center of the circle or ellipse, and radius on x-axis and radius on rx and ry defines the radius on x-axis and radius on y-axis respectively. If rx and ry are same, on the applet, circle will be displayed. If rx and ry are different, it will display ellipse on the applet. Coming to the next shape. If we want to draw a line on the applet, we all know that the line is having 2 endpoints. A line, each and every line in the universe will have 2 endpoints. For example, point number 1 and point 1 and point 2. And while we are dealing with the 2-dimensional thing, each and every point should be associated with respective x and y values. For example, if the starting point of the line is x1, y1 and the ending point of the line is x2, y2, and if we want to draw a line between those 2 endpoints, we have to pass all those parameters to the method called as draw line method. Similar to the draw rect method is having 4 parameters. Draw oval method is having 4 parameters. Now, with the meaning of those 4 parameters may be different, but here also in the draw line method also we are going to use 4 parameters, and these 4 parameters specifies in all these 4 parameters are integers. X1, y1, x2, y2, x1, y1 and x2, y2 are the 4 parameters, where x1, y1 is the starting point of the line and x2, y2 is the ending point of the line. So if we pass, for example, if I pass 10, 10, 20, 20 to a draw line method, so it will draw a line from 10, 10 to 20, 20. And if we want to draw a line from some numbers called as 30, 40 to 80, 90, we have to first draw a line of 30, 40, 80, 90. So the first 2 numbers will be taken as the first end point, that is the coordinate of x-axis and coordinate on y-axis. And the next 2 points will be considered as the second end point, right? And coming to the next shape, yeah, and similar to the previous methods, what we have discussed so far, there are many more methods which are used for respected needs. So if we up to now we have seen how to draw a text, how to display text on the applet by using draw string method. And if I want to draw a line, I use the method called as draw line method. If I want to draw a rectangle or a square, I use the method draw rect method. If I want to draw a circle or oval, a circle or ellipse or oval, I use the method draw oval method. Similarly, if I want to display a single point, I'm not discussing about a line or a rectangle or a square or a circle or ellipse. I'm mentioning that I want to display a point. If I have, see the previous slide, if I want to mention a point, simply I can use draw line method. If draw line method, if I pass the same x1, y1 values as x2, y2 values. For example, if I pass draw line 10, 10, 10, 10, that means the first endpoint and the second endpoint of the line are same. That means it will display a single point. This is how we can display a point. And we can also display point by using a draw rect method also. If all the values are same, it will display a single point there also. Sorry. In draw rect method, if I pass 10, 10, 0, 0, that means height of the rectangle and width of the rectangle are 0. And if I mention draw rect of 10, 10, 0, 0, then it will display a single point at the position 10, 10. This is how we can display points on the applet. We can display it by using a draw rect, or we can also display by using a draw oval method also. By passing draw oval of 10, 10, 0, 0, it will display a point at 10, 10. Similarly, by using the draw line method also, we can display a point on the applets. And similar to all these methods, we can also display different shapes for the respectiveness. If I want to draw a arc, or if I want to draw bytes, or if I want to draw characters, or if I want to draw something, we have similar methods. We have some methods in the graphics class. Here, I am not going to explain all the methods, and just I have explained 3 or 4 methods fully, and these are some of the examples of the remaining methods. If I want to draw an arc, we use the draw arc method, which will take the following parameters: x, y, width, height, string angle, int angle. So for draw arc method, we are going to pass 5 parameters, that is x and y starting position, width and height of the arc, and angle of the arc also. And draw bytes method, this will take an array as a first parameter, and then offset value as second parameter, length as third parameter, and x and y as fourth and fifth parameters. And similarly, draw catch method also. And these are the some of the methods in graphics class by which we are going to use them for different needs. Coming to the next slide. So, very important one. And up to now, we have seen how to draw a text, how to draw a rectangle, how to draw a square, how to draw a circle, how to draw an ellipse, and how to draw a line or a point. All these things are displayed by default in black color. If I use the draw line method, that line will be displayed in the black color. So some don't have interest in black color, and if I want to change that particular color to yellow, so I have to use, so in order to change colors on the applet, we have a method called as set color method. And this is the method which is situated in the graphics class. Along with all these draw rect or draw oval or draw line or draw string, all these methods, along with all these methods, we have one more method called as set color method. While calling this method, we all know that each and every method in this graphics class has having some parameters similar to that one. While calling this method also, while calling this set color method also, we have to pass parameter with the name of the color along with the class name of color, along with the class name color. So we have a class called as color, and that color class contains all the different colors which are available. And then, for example, if I want to display the text, or if I want to draw a line in red color, I have to use color.red. If I want to use a color in black, black is a default color, no need of that. If I want to display something in blue color, I have to give color.blue. If I am saying that color is a class, so the C in color should be capital. So in order to set the color on the applet, we are going to use the method called as set color method. And in order to access different colors, we have to mention the name of the color along with the color class name. For example, if I want green color, I have to mention color.green. If I want pink color, I have to mention color.pink. If I want some yellow color, I want to mention color.yellow. So we have to pass color class name along with the name of the color as a parameter to the set color method. You can see the last point in this slide, set color of color.red. So this particular statement will set the entire, will set the color as red color. So if I want green color, I have to write the statement as set color of color.green. So in this way, we can have any type of color. Coming to the next slide. We have discussed about draw rect, draw oval, and draw line, and draw arc, draw characters, draw bytes, all these methods. There is a quite difference between draw and fill. If I use a draw, only the border will be drawn, If I used fill, the entire shape will be filled with a different, entire shape will be filled. So draw rect will draw the border of a rectangle or a border of a square or the border of a circle or an ellipse, where the fill draw rect will only draw a square or a rectangle border, and fill rect will fill that particular rectangle or fill that particular square. And along with the draw rect and fill rect, we have draw oval and fill oval also. So draw oval will draw outline of the oval, where the fill oval will fill the entire oval with the color. By default, it is a black, and if you want to fill it with a different color, we have to use set color of color dot red. So that particular oval will be filled with a red color. And if you have any queries regarding the session, regarding today's session, you can just post the comments, and I will reply for those comments as soon as possible. And I thank very much all the listeners for listening with a lot of patience. And in the next class also, we are going to write some simple programs using tablets. So you have to memorize all the things what we have explained in this lecture, because by using these steps only, we are going to write the programs on applets in the future classes. And thanks a lot. Thank you very much, and see you again.